Both of these trainers hot off of some impressive wins.
Exactly, and the wins with a Bastiodon as well. I mean, I think Caleb Fang has been super happy about this. Let's go over some of OutofPoket's achievements here. Look at this. In the 2024 season alone, he's got the Charlotte top 8, Pittsburgh top 4, and last season as well, Hartford regional top 4, and the Peoria regional champion.
OutofPoket is one of those trainers who's always near the top and in the discussion, but he's looking for a breakout moment, wanting to keep pace with some of his elite friends in the community. Bastiodon, Annihilate, as well as Altaria, Shadow, Whiscash for Alligator, and Cresselia.
Definitely one of the only to be piloting for Alligator so far in this tournament so well as well. Look at this, the classic Trent stare.
He's back. Trent's back. He's staring right into your eyes if you're watching at home. Indianapolis Regional Top 4 in 22. A lot of success at NAIC in 2022 as well. And then Peoria, Fort Wayne in 2023. So 24 is the year he has in his sights. We're gonna look at his team: Dugong, Annihilate, Lantern, Lickitung, Altaria, and Shadow Gligar.
I feel like, you know, it's like one of those moments where you're just like, you don't know if the camera's actually like paused or stuttering on something. It's like, no, it's that classic stare.
It is. He brought it back, right? Just for the losers finals. Trent is all business, and this is a business trip for him because he wants a spot in the grand finals coming up here shortly. But he's got to get through Hot Pocket first.
Exactly.
And OutofPoket actually knocked him down to that losers bracket to begin with.
It's true. And look how, like, I have to say, how many plushies are up on this stage supporting their trainers as well. We got quite a few up there. And we got the Eevee with the evolution into the Sylveon, and also cute little Vulpix.
Exactly right. We're going to jump right into game number 1. This is a best of 5 in our losers finals. Shadow Whiscash for Pocket led into Lickitung for Trent.
Now this is more in favor of the Lickitung just because that Power Whip does do so much damage to this ground and water type Pokemon, but the Scald does outpace, and this can flip things around if the Scald does manage to get the debuff. There is a 50% chance that's going to happen. No shield from Trent, and the Scald connects.
Lickitung takes a big loss in HP, but no debuff occurs, and now the Whiscash has the option to either Protect Shield this next charge attack or let it through. OutofPoket is making great calls. He makes another great call right here in game 1 of the losers finals.
Yeah, this Power Whip would be detrimental to the Whiscash. They're going out and just keep charging away. Knows his counts, knows he's very far away from the Power Whip at this point as well. Going up for yet another Scald, saying, okay, if it's a 50% chance, maybe this second one is going to debuff, but it's going to also bring that Lickitung so low, possibly even knocking it out, catching a Body Slam for the wear on an Altaria.
I was just about to heave a massive compliment onto OutofPoket because he's able to maintain switch advantage, but he sends out the Altaria, and that frees up the Dugong, and this is going to be really tough for him to overcome because the Dugong is incredibly comfortable in this matchup.
Yeah, Trent just going ahead and completely, you know, using its fast attacks only. It was at the Ice Wind, but didn't want to deploy it. This Moonblast will connect. It's going to do a nice chunk overall of damage, but Dugong is just going to go do strong here. Just going to, I think, completely fast attack down. Give a little party gift to whatever comes in. We've got 2 Icy Winds and Drill Runs stored.
It's so tough, right? You're going to take an Icy Wind from the Dugong here onto the Shadow Whiscash, and you're still pretty far away from a Mud Bomb, so you're unable to strike back. You're going to take another Icy Wind unless you use Protect Shield.
I kind of like this play, though, Pocket, making him just at least deploy all of that energy, because chances are might not be able to get to another Icy Wind. At least OutofPoket has really got to hope so, because with only 1 Pokemon left on the field, it's going to be doing so much damage. And guess what? These Psycho Cuts are not going to be enough. This Icy Wind is going through. This Cresselia is debuffed for the rest of the game.
I think that OutofPoket is really hoping for a Lantern in the back, maybe the Annihilate, because he knows he's worked his way through that Lickitung, and he's going to leave with this matchup with a ton of energy. Cresselia is loaded up, ready to go, and there's an Annihilate in the back for Trent.
There is, and this is Annihilate without any energy. A Moonblast is already ready, not fooling around, going straight for it. Sometimes when there's 2 Protect Shields, you don't use the shield. Trent, last second, and we've been calling it before, he's great at calling when he needs to use those shields. That was a very good moment for it, but already up to another Moonblast beforehand. Going to releasing the charge attack now, and Trent is not using a shield.
Whoa.
No, ooh, last second shield on the bait.
Last second shield on the grass, not there, puts Trent Protect Shields down. Meanwhile, OutofPoket still has Protect Shield of his own. He missed a call earlier on in the tournament. He shields up the Night Slash here. Now you have to start to be mindful of not only your debuff from the Cresselia, but also the catch from the Lickitung.
Yeah, this is going to be the actual crucial moment. You can see Trent going for it, but Pocket was well aware, not going to let it happen. But the question is this debuff Moonblast going to be enough? The Psycho Cuts aren't doing that much damage although it is a fighting type Pokemon, and it will connect, it is not enough.
It's not enough due to the debuff. Annihilate closing in on the Shadow Ball. I don't think Cresselia can get there in time, and here comes Trent and his Annihilate. This is going to be a knockout, same type attack bonus. Ghost type Shadow Ball into Psychic Cresselia.
Annihilate going ahead, taking game number 1 for Trent in this grudge match in the losers finals. But again, this is a best of 5 matchup. There's still plenty of time to figure out how these two players want to play against each other in this moment. Pocket just got off of a very close best of 5 matchup where he won 2 out of the 3 that went to S. James.
S. James, right? S. James was able to come out on top in that winners finals. But at this point, if you're out of pocket, you can kind of see it in his body language too. He kind of shrugged, you know, okay, game 1, lost that one, but he smiled and looked across the table. Because it's a best of 5, you have a little bit more time to adjust.
Exactly.
And I think that out of pocket is one of the best at making adjustments as the series goes on. So it's not over for Trent. I mean, game 1 was solid, but he's got to do a lot more work to take down out of pocket.
That is so true. The main thing that out of pocket has to remember too, though, is it's still a long road ahead. Sometimes, especially if you lose in such narrow margins like he did in the winners finals, it's easy to get kind of like disappointed in yourself or a bit dejected. But he's got to shake that off at the moment. He's got to really come back into this if he wants to maintain his chance and play another grudge match, but this time against S. James P.
I think the Annihilate and the Shadow Gligar for Trent will probably keep the Bastiodon at bay, but let's see what out of pocket decides to lead. He's going to pick his Cresselia, and it's going to lead into Lickitung.
We've seen this plenty of times before. That lick damage is going to be doing some heavy amounts, and not being able to get to the Moonblast before the Body Slam comes in is going to be able to take a little bit of extra health off of that Cresselia as we see that Body Slam now go through unprotected. You know, you obviously don't want to be protecting these things, but at some point too, you want to make sure you're getting your Pokemon aligned where you want them.
Yeah, and we saw that in game number 1. I think if out of pocket doesn't catch the Body Slam onto his Altaria and just leaves his Whiscash in the matchup, he has a chance to win that battle. But looking forward to game number 2, a similar thing could happen because the Altaria and the Dugong are both on these teams here.
Yeah, I'm really liking Trent's timing here, throwing once again right before that Moonblast is reached. Again, Body Slams aren't going to do that much, but it's slowly adding up over time. Look at this Cresselia. It's very low in health. Another Moonblast going through here, and I think Pocket really wants alignment. If you're looking at that back lineup, that Dugong once again does not want to be lined up. Well, the Dugong would love to be lined up against Altaria.
But out of pocket wants to avoid it, right? So a very tough position to be in. Body Slam coming through. We've seen some Cresselias take down Lickitungs in this lead scenario in this very similar situation. Body Slam going to come through. Isn't enough to KO the Cresselia. It is not. Cresselia doesn't have the Grass Knot though, and it gets licked down.
This is big going on with that. Now the Altaria is coming in. Lickitung will most likely be able to get to yet another Body Slam at this point too, but Altaria will come out with a bit of energy, maybe something to throw at the Dugong if it comes in right after this moment. We'll have to see how these two trainers want to play it out. This Body Slam does connect. Altaria just letting that Lickitung go down. Still 2 shields in play for both trainers.
Dugong comes in, instant pivot out into the Shadow Whiscash, met by Annihilate. Now this matchup is very neutral, as our co-caster said, right? It can swing either direction. Skull going to come through here from out of pocket. He's been just throwing these hard-hitting charge attacks over and over again, and Trent calls yet another one.
Yeah, going ahead and protecting the Skull, that would do a lot of damage. Not getting the debuff either, and now it is Trent's turn to just get so much energy on this Annihilate. Trent has been baiting a lot, but at this point too, with the Whiscash so low health, is it worth risking it? I don't know. Pocket doesn't think so either. Wants to protect it, keep it a little bit healthy because he is at the Skull, but this is a combination there. It looks like they'll be able to get back-to-back Night Slashes here.
Yeah, back-to-back Night Slashes coming in from Trent. No Protect Shield there for out of pocket, which, like you said, is really tough because there's still a very healthy Dugong in the back. Gonna go for the Skull. This is not quite enough to KO the Annihilate, but it will bring it deep down into the red as it looks to try to win this matchup. Counter damage is just such an impact play, right? Look at that. 4 counters gets the knockout.
Yeah, I mean, Pocket not able to reach the Bug Bomb, not able to reach the Grass Knot. Each time getting a small parting gift from the trainer. You know, first it was the Body Slam, now it's the Night Slash, and now the Dugong comes back in. The Altaria is really struggling here against a very specific Pokemon that keeps finding it in the lineup.
Yeah, it's very, very tough. Out of pocket recognizes this game is likely over. Gonna throw the Moonblast just for good measure, but Trent still has a Protect Shield in his back pocket. That attack gets blocked, and the Ice Shard comes through. Out of pocket goes down 0-2 in the losers finals.
Now, it seems like Trent is very much wanting to play that Dugong. Do you think because of this, this is out of pocket's chance to maybe play something different? Or do you think the Altaria is so strong against everything else on the team that it's almost necessary to be continuing to bring it?
Trent has not been very good against Bastiodon these past couple of games, right? He's brought Dugong and his Lickitung. I mean, Dugong does have Drow Run, right? That's fine. Yep. But you're also dealing super effective SmackDown pressure. So it almost feels like this is the time when Bastion should show up. This is the play for it. But is that what Trent is expecting?
Of course, it's again a mind game. And I think that was probably how it lines up. A lot of times players will play something different game one. Usually if it's a best of 3 scenario. Of course, since it's a best of 5, they have a little bit more wiggle room. But yeah, this is the point where OutofPoket would be like, what am I thinking? What do I need to play at this moment to be able to win these games against Trent? Once again, losers finals. These players have played against each other once in the tournament before, OutofPoket taking that matchup. But Trent has a 2-0 lead and is looking very strong. Coming into game 3 with an Annihilate into a Whiscash.
This could be a decisive game in our losers finals here in Indianapolis. I think that Trent definitely went double strong to Bastion, right? He's got Annihilate in the lead and Shadow Gligar in the back, but there's no Basti to be seen. So we're gonna find out what's gonna happen because the Night Slash bait does get protected up by OutofPoket. This is another thing as well. I feel like Trent has just been so much better at calling these hard-hitting charge attacks.
Exactly. Once again, just like you said, Speedy, now pulling the Scald, which is not going to be doing any damage really to the Annihilate and not getting the debuff either. Just continuing to wear away at the Whiscash. Looks like another Night Slash is going through, but I think if you're Pocket and you're counting this, you're realizing it's not a Shadow Ball. It is going to knock me pretty low, but he still wants to maintain as much health as possible on that. Almost another Scald and getting an attack. Which, of course, you're going to shield it, right? I mean, you have such a healthy Annihilate, and your attack just boosted in a very decisive portion of Game 3.
Doing it again, switching in the Altaria, a 3rd game in a row. OutofPoket calls the bluff, and Trent stays in the matchup, which means there is no Dugong in the back. Now, how does OutofPoket actually manage that information going forward? He's got to take a Shadow Ball first, and that stings.
That does sting, indeed. The attack did fall a little bit with that Skull, but not enough. I mean, at that point, you saw how much that Shadow Ball did. OutofPoket doing everything that he can to keep this game in his pocket as well. This Moonblast coming through, doing a nice chunk of damage to the Gligar. The Gligar is just, I think, going to completely fast attack down, coming out with so much energy for whatever is in the back, and it's going to be either that Cresselia or that Whiscash is going down.
And now that Altaria is out of the picture, OutofPoket doesn't have a lot of fast attack pressure, so he's going to be forced to absorb a lot of energy, a lot of damage that Trent is going to convert into some digs here against the Cresselia.
And Cresselia, as like you said, it's not going to be able to farm down very easily. I think he might try to go for it. It looks like it's going to be a very aggressive play, but will Trent have too much energy at this point? There is still a Whiscash, but it doesn't have any energy either. It's swapped out earlier. He's still up. He's going to completely fast attack down. Will he be able to get there? No, not before an Aerial Ace would be reached. Don't have to throw that Grass Knot.
He knew the 3rd charge attack was coming, right? So OutofPoket has to throw the Grass Knot here, but now his Cresselia is incredibly weak. His Whiscash is very weak. Altaria comes in here, and you might be able to get to the Moonblast. It's going to be really close, but Cresselia is going to switch out with the Moonblast stored, and Whiscash without Blizzard doesn't have the tools it needs to beat this Altaria.
Yeah, I think OutofPoket went for a play there. He thought that the Trent would also switch. Trent's been doing a really nice job of switching on that, but the Moonblast instead on the Altaria is going to be the thing that is hitting that Cresselia, knocking it out, and Trent has a decisive 3-0 sweep in the losers finals, bringing him up to the grand finals.
Trent absolutely in control that entire series. You can hear the crowd is behind him as well.